This is a day that the Lord has made. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa. I'm a Christian woman doing my best to put God first. I am a mom and I wanted to share with you all the children's stories of the Bible from the Old and New Testaments. It was a book given to me when I was 9 years old, the Christmas I was 9 years old. It introduced me to Jesus, to God, to all the stories of the Bible, which led me to want to read the real Bible. So I want to read every single chapter. It will be one chapter per video. If you want to read this with your children, feel free to do so. I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the Old Testament. We are in chapter 9, Ruth. The Old Testament tells us that there was once a shortage of food in the city of Bethlehem. To escape the famine, one man named Elimelech took his wife Naomi and his two sons Mahlon and Chilion to the nearby land of Moab. Elimelech died there, and 10 years later, Mahlon and Chilion died too, leaving Naomi without a husband, sons, or grandchildren. Naomi felt very much alone and became homesick for her own people in Bethlehem. When she heard that God had given the city food, she decided to return. The widows of Mahlon and Chilion, who were named Ruth and Orpah, wanted to go with her. But Naomi told them to stay in Moab, where they could marry again and have children. The trip back to Bethlehem would be long and hard, and they would be leaving their homes and families to live among strangers. Orpah agreed to remain in Moab with her family, and she kissed Naomi goodbye, but Ruth stayed close to Naomi's side and said, "Where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." Naomi knew that she had a faithful companion in Ruth. Together, the two women made the journey to Bethlehem. When they arrived, the people there were very surprised to see Naomi after so long a time, and the women of the city said to her, "Can this be Naomi?" She answered, "Don't call me Naomi," a name which means pleasant. "Call me Mara," which is a Hebrew word for bitter. God has dealt very bitterly with me. I went away with a husband and sons, and now they are gone. Ruth understood Naomi's sadness, but she also knew that they had to make the best of things. It happened that it was the harvest season in Bethlehem, so Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain." Gleaning means gathering whatever is left on the ground after the harvest. In those days, the poor people were allowed to follow the reapers and keep the grain that they found. Ruth went to glean and happened to reach a part of the field that belonged to a man named Boaz, who was a relative of Naomi's late husband, Elimelech. Boaz saw Ruth and asked his servant who she was. The servant said, "She is the Moabite maiden who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab, and she has been gleaning from early morning until now without resting for a moment." Boaz was so impressed by Ruth's devotion to Naomi and her courage in moving to a strange land that he told Ruth to stay in his field where she would be protected and would find plenty of food. According to ancient Hebrew custom, a woman who lost her husband had the right to marry her husband's next of kin. Naomi wished to see her daughter-in-law married again and provided for, so she suggested that Ruth ask Boaz to marry her. Because Ruth was a good woman, Boaz consented to marry and take care of her. They were blessed with a son to carry on the family name and inherit the land, and this son was to become the grandfather of King David. I will have a playlist, like I said, by chapter in Old Testament and then the New Testament if you want to continue reading. See you next time.